Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on an incredible journey, thousands of millennia into the past, to explore a world that few of us can even imagine. We're talking about a time when our planet was a vastly different place, teeming with life forms that would boggle the modern mind. Get ready to uncover the secrets of life 4.3 million years ago, delve into the enigmatic Lost Valley of Giants, and unravel the mystery of early human explorers. This isn't just history. It's a deep dive into the very roots of our existence. Imagine, if you will, a landscape vastly different from anything you see outside your window today. We're not just talking about a few thousand years, but 4.3 million years. This epocha, firmly planted in the Pliocene period, was a critical chapter in Earth's story and, more importantly, in the story of humanity. The continents were roughly in their current positions, but the climate, vegetation, and dominant species created an entirely alien ecosystem. Global temperatures were generally warmer than they are today, and vast forests and savannas stretched across what are now arid lands. Sea levels were higher, and the polar ice caps were significantly smaller. It was a world of lush abundance in many regions, a fertile cradle for evolutionary change. Now, let's talk about the incredible inhabitants of this ancient world. While we didn't have the colossal dinosaurs of the Mesozoic, the Pliocene was certainly no slouch when it came to Picture this. Giant ground sloths, some as big as elephants, lumbering through dense forests, munching on leaves. There were huge, fearsome, short-faced bears, much larger and more powerful than any bear alive today, dominating the landscape. Saber-toothed cats, with their iconic, dagger-like fangs, were apex predators, hunting large ungulates and early primates. And let's not forget the gomphotheres, ancient relatives of elephants, sporting for tusks instead of two, grazing in herds across the savannas. These aren't just fantasy creatures. Their fossils paint a vivid picture of a world brimming with immense and awe-inspiring animals, each perfectly adapted to their environment. It was truly a time of giants, and our early ancestors were very much a part of this dramatic backdrop. Speaking of our ancestors, this is where things get truly exciting. During this period, approximately 4.3 million years ago, a critical evolutionary divergence was underway. This is the era when early hominins, our direct predecessors, were taking their first tentative steps on the path to becoming human. We're talking about species like Australopithecus, Anamensis *, believed to be one of the earliest members of the Australopithecus * genus, and a potential ancestor to Australopithecus. Afaran says *yes. Lucy herself. These hominins were primarily bipedal, meaning they walked upright on two legs, a revolutionary adaptation that freed their hands for carrying food, tools, or even offspring. But they also retained arboreal features, suggesting they still spent time in trees for safety and resources. Their brains were relatively small compared to modern humans, but they were certainly capable of navigating their complex environment. Now, let's introduce a captivating concept: the Lost Valley of Giants. While this isn't a single, universally recognized archaeological site, it represents the potential for discovery, a metaphor for the hidden pockets of ancient life that once thrived, where early hominins and the colossal megafauna coexisted. Imagine an isolated valley, perhaps protected by natural barriers, a verdant oasis where conditions were just right for an explosion of life. In such a valley, our early ancestors would have faced daily challenges but also found incredible opportunities. They would have observed these massive creatures, learned from their behaviors, and perhaps even scavenged from their kills, an early form of resort. Such a place would have been a natural laboratory for evolution, pushing these hominins to adapt, innovate, and thrive. Think of it as a prime hunting ground, a place where food was plentiful, but also where danger lurked around every corner. The very idea of a lost valley of giants sparks the imagination about the specific challenges and opportunities early hominins encountered. Picture a small band of Australopithecus, Anamensis *, perhaps 10 to 15 individuals, foraging for roots, berries, and insects. They would have been acutely aware of this, constantly scanning for both predators and potential food sources. The presence of these giant animals wouldn't have just been a threat. It would have been a defining characteristic of their world. Perhaps they learned to follow herds of gomphothirs, knowing that where there was prey, there might also be scavengeable remains left by saber-toothed cats. Or perhaps they sought refuge in trees when massive ground sloths came thundering through. Every rustle of leaves, every distant roar, would have been a vital piece of information in their survival strategy. Their lives were an intricate dance with these enormous cohabitants. This brings us to the mystery of early human explorers. How did these early hominins spread across the landscape? What drove their movements? At 4.3 million years ago, the African continent was their primary stage. While we don't have detailed maps of their specific journeys, fossil discoveries across East Africa in places like Kenya and Ethiopia tell a story of gradual expansion and adaptation to diverse environments. These weren't grand expeditions in the modern sense. Rather, they were slow, incremental movements, driven by necessity. A change in climate might have dried up familiar water sources, prompting a move to a new river valley. A population boom might have led to competition for resources, pushing some groups to explore new territories. The availability of food, the search for safer sleeping sites, and perhaps even simple curiosity would have propelled these early hominins to slowly, steadily expand their range. The exploration itself was fraught with peril. Every new valley, every unexplored forest, presented unknown dangers. New predators, unfamiliar plant life, and difficult terrain would have tested their resilience. Yet, their persistence, their ability to adapt, and their nascent social structures allowed them to overcome these challenges. They were, in essence, the original trailblazers, laying the groundwork for all future human migrations. Their exploration wasn't about planting flags. It was about survival, about finding a way to continue their lineage in a world that demanded constant vigilance and ingenuity. The tools they used, while rudimentary by our standards, were revolutionary for their time. Simple stone flakes for cutting, perhaps sticks for digging. These tools were extensions of their intellect, helping them extract more from their environment and thus explore it more effectively. Imagine the courage it must have taken, a small group venturing into the unknown, perhaps following an animal trail, or simply driven by a sense of urgency. There were no maps, no established routes, just the raw landscape and their instincts, their memory of resources, their ability to interpret environmental cues, and their communication within the group would have been paramount. This continuous, low-level exploration wasn't just physical, it was cognitive. It demanded problem-solving skills, a developing understanding of their environment, and the ability to pass on crucial knowledge to the next generation. These seemingly simple movements across the ancient African landscape were the very first chapters in humanity's grand narrative of discovery and expansion. So, what can we learn from life 4.3 million years ago, from the lost valley of giants and the mystery of early human explorers? We learn about resilience. We learn about adaptation. We learn that, even in a world dominated by massive, powerful creatures, our ancestors found a way not just to survive, but to thrive and evolve. Their story is a testament to the enduring human spirit, the drive to overcome obstacles, and the innate curiosity that propels us to explore, to understand, and to constantly push the boundaries of what is known. It reminds us that our journey as humans is one built on millions of years of incremental progress, forged in the crucible of a wild and majestic planet. Understanding this deep past gives us context for our present. It highlights how interconnected all life on Earth truly is, and how profoundly environmental changes have shaped our history. The story of 4.3 million years ago isn't just about fossils and ancient landscapes. It's about our own origins, the incredible journey our species has taken, and the potential that lies within us to continue adapting and exploring. It's a humbling and inspiring look at where we come from. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through time. I hope you've enjoyed uncovering the mysteries of our ancient past as much as I have. If you found this video fascinating, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more incredible explorations into history, science, and the wonders of our world. Your support means the world to me, and it helps us keep bringing these stories to life. See you in the next one.